Well, hello folks. Welcome to this really cold day in western New York. It's about 13 or 14 degrees out here right now. I got my goofy hat on again. It's time to get all of my electricals done here. Actually, what I'm doing is I ran electric up here this fall. I buried this cable right here in the ground. Now I got to hook everything up. I got junction boxes and disconnects and transformers and stuff that I have to install, and when I'm all done, there's a variable frequency drive inside here that will run the vacuum pump. This is the drive system in here, and this is what runs the vacuum pump down there. I got some junk on it right now, but yeah, we'll get this business rolling. I'll probably have to make a few trips back and forth to get stuff that I forgot or didn't have room for on my way up here the first time. So first thing I'm going to do is mount a junction box and then put a transformer in place, and then I'll go from there. I'm going to mount the junction box to. Okay. And with the holes on the side, don't I? There we go. Gotta try to keep my door closed because I don't want these little snowflakes coming in here and getting on my electricals. Not good. Not good at all. Okay, we got that. Right here. I know it looks like it's right in front of the window, but I want to be able to slide the window open and shut from both directions. So yeah, it looks a little goofy, but we're in the woods. We're not in the home. We're not building kitchens. We're putting things together in the sugar bush. Alrighty. This guy here fit right on there just like that. Ain't that gorgeous? Put him right there like that. This is my disconnect Yep. Okay. Okay. Kind of close quarters in here. I could prop the door open, but I don't want them little snowflakes coming in and getting on my stuff. I don't like. Snowflakes on electrical stuff is a bad mixture. I probably won't get this all done today. We'll see. Just leave that loose. Put another one in. Make sure that's somewhat level. Like I said, we ain't building kitchens. Okay, that's mounted. The next thing I gotta do is I gotta put this transformer in place. Actually, what I would like to do first, I guess, is mount my little breaker panel. I'm gonna put that right here next to the door, I think. Okay. I'm gonna get to mount the breaker panel. Well, here it is the next day. The battery on this GoPro camera went out on me yesterday. These batteries don't do too good in really cold weather. I'll start out with 100% battery, and then I'll get to the woods and I'll turn on the camera and it'll say like 17% or something. So I'm not real sold on some of this GoPro stuff, I guess. But anyways, we missed a lot. After I went out on you yesterday, I managed to, I got all the boxes mounted, got the breaker panel mounted, and then this big transformer down here, I got him mounted. This was a job. That thing weighs, I think, 270 pounds or something. I had to mount the unistrut on it first while it was laying down, and then I had to tip the whole works up and move it into position and then anchor it. That alone probably took me over an hour. That's heavy, especially when you're doing it by yourself. But all I have left to do today is just a bunch of wiring, which is the easy part. Well, one little hard part, I guess. I have this I got this ground rod out here that I have to pound into the ground so I can have a good ground here. I gotta put that guy in the ground. So anyways, it's not quite as cold today. It's 18 degrees as opposed to like 13 or 14. So I guess we're having a heat wave or something. So, yeah, let's get to work. essence of cutting metal. As cold as it is, there's still some jobs you just can't do with gloves on. Okay. Pretty stiff when it's cold like this, isn't it? See how much length we need here. Actually, it would be better for me to go in through the side, wouldn't it? Too late now, I already cut the hole there. I had to wrestle that into place. I'd like to show you more of it, but the problem is the batteries on these cameras just don't last that long in cold weather, so I have to show you things in piecemeal. Alright, now I need some wire for that. Got some 6-gauge wire here. I don't anticipate this system drawing more than about 50 amps right now. Let's start with the other end. Looks better. This stuff sure is stiff when it's cold like this, that is for sure. Break out. Oh, we got this wire in. You got it, put it through there and up to here. I had to use a little bit of WD-40 on it. Now we can, I got a, right here as you can see, I'm going to bug these wires together. This is the 1/0 cable that came all the way up from the barn. The reason why it's so big is because I wanted to minimize voltage loss along the way, so it's got to be pretty hefty stuff going, well, 3,660 plus feet. So I'm going to bug these to those and put it through my disconnect up here. It's going to feed through my disconnect, and from there it's going to go to the transformer, and then from the transformer I gotta, after I kick it down to 240 volts, I'm going to put it through my breaker panel here and then over to my drive panel. So haven't done this kind of work in quite a while. So it's taken me, actually I don't do this kind of work routinely. I was always the guy making the prints and the designs, not the guy doing the work, so that's why I'm a little bit clumsy. I'd rather do maple sugaring. That's my thing. This insulation doesn't cut very well when it's 18 degrees out here. This is THHN insulation, not meant to be bent and moved around a bunch. And we're going to use these slotted nuts here to bug these together. And put both wires under there and clamp it up. First the big wire, now this guy. Split bolt connectors. We just say bugging them together. After this, I'm going to tape these all up, tuck them in this box. This is the incoming 600 volts from, I'll show you later where I got it from. I took 240 volts and kicked it up to 600 for long distance transmission. Reduce the current, increase the voltage. Big gauge wire. Minimum loss. Oh, that's tight. All right, now let's do the other one. Where's my other bug? Oh, here it is. Most of these jobs go pretty quick, but there's always some little thing that slows you down. There they are, all bugged together. I'm going to tape them up, and I'm going to tape the end of that one. I've got 3 conductor here. That's what I could get a deal on. This 3rd conductor is not going to be used. There, that. Now one more layer of tape. This time sticky part down the whole way. thing will be mummified. Alright, I got these all taped up. Now I'm ready to shove them on in there and close this box. Kind of bend them around a bit so that they... Well, here it is a couple days later. I know this video is kind of sketchy because I keep running out of battery in this cold weather. Today it's like 22 degrees out here. Beautiful woods. But I got everything here all buttoned up pretty much. I got the junction box wired into that disconnect, into the transformer, into the breaker panel, and then here's my drive panel. And what I did here is I left the cover off the drive because I got to bump this motor down here on this vacuum pump, and if the motor's going backwards I got to swap a couple leads and make it go forwards. So this thing's all ready to try. I've just got done checking all of the continuities, make sure nothing is grounded, and make sure nothing is not grounded or shorted that is not supposed to be, and to make sure that the things that are supposed to be grounded are grounded. So I'm going to head back down below and I'll show you what I did down there at the beginning end of things. Okay, here we go. We're in the barn here. I got the main disconnect. I got 240 volts coming through it and into this transformer, and then out of this transformer I have 600 volts going to the woods. So here goes nothing. I'm going to turn her on. Okay, what I'm going to do, if you can see me, I don't know what's going to happen here. So I'm going to hold this board up just in case something explodes. So here we go. Here goes nothing. I hear humming. I don't hear breakers popping. So we're so far so good. Now we can go back to the woods with the voltage on down here, and we can see how the pump runs. Okay, here we are back in the woods. Let's see how this thing goes. First I want to check a voltage here. I got my voltmeter right there to make sure, let me see what my volts is on my disconnect. And it is at 602 volts, so that's good. So let's shut this thing back up. Why doesn't that shut very nicely? There we go. Okay, that's set 602 volts. So we're going to throw this disconnect switch here, and we're going to see if anything blows up in here. So I'm going to hold up my piece of wood, nice and safety like. Hold up my piece of wood just like that. My piece of wood's covering the transformer under here. Now we're going to flip her. I hear humming. I don't hear anything blowing up. Okay, I hear humming. Alrighty. Now what we got to do is we're going to turn on that breaker there, and we're going to see what happens with this drive inside here. Now this drive has to go through an initialization sequence when I first apply power to it. So let's see what happens when we flip the 50 amp breaker on. Okay, that looks good. Alright, we're on 60 hertz so far, and frequency 60, no problem. I like to put this on amps myself, so I'm going to press this display H no amps. There we go. I like to see the amp draw. I know how fast the motor's going to turn. That's no big deal. So now what I'm going to do, I sound really excited, don't I? It's because I am. I'm like super nervous. Inside I'm like Afghanistan or something. Because I put all this together. So if somebody else did it, I wouldn't be so nervous. But I put it together, so I'm kind of nervous. So anyways, let's get my piece of wood out of the way here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump this motor and I'm going to see what direction it turns there. There's the arrow right up there that tells me what direction it should be going. I'm just going to bump it briefly to see where we're going. So let's see what happens here. Okay, we got to put it in remote mode, right? We have to put this in remote. There we go. Put that in remote. Now I can push the run button here, huh? Going backward. Let's see. Looks like we're doing okay. Turning the right direction, and we have vacuum, folks. Alrighty. I'm happier than a pig in crap. This piece of wood in front of the vacuum, so it draws 100% vacuum. I see that I'm still drawing about 25 amps. As the oil warms up in the vacuum pump, that current draw will go down. Generally during sugar season, what I do is I'll start the pump, keep the vacuum off to the sugar bush, and let the oil warm up so that the current goes down below 25 or 23 amps. Then I turn on the vacuum to the sugar bush, because if I turn on full vacuum, I can run into overcurrent trip outs on this drive right here. If it draws too much current for too long, it'll shut off. So I don't want that. So I'll usually let it run, let the oil warm up, and then I'll turn on the sugar bush. But it's looking pretty good. Looks like it's warming up. It's already down into the 24s. I started out about 27. So, looking good so far. Next thing I'll do is I'll put this cover back on. Well, everyone, that'll about do it for this video. I wish I could have showed you more. But like I said, with these GoPro cameras, for some reason, maybe there's something I'm not understanding yet or something, but when it gets really cold outside, you'll be going along, it's 70-60% charge, and then all of a sudden drops off to zero and the camera dies. So I don't know, I wish I could have showed you more than that. Not that you're, I don't know, some people are probably more interested in that kind of thing, or wiring and that kind of stuff, but it's part of the sugar business. So I'm on my way back to Happy Valley to get something to eat. Make sure you like and ring that bell and subscribe. Have a great evening.